The game of basketball tends to be most enjoyable when the players on offense are putting on a show and scoring the ball at a high level. However, it's on the defensive end of the court where games are often won. It's not glamorous, it doesn't get the attention it deserves, and quite frankly, it's pretty difficult to judge just how good players can be at it, but defense is an incredibly important part of the game, which brings us to the topic of today's video. Today, we'll be taking the best defensive player from all 30 NBA teams and ranking them from best to worst. Now, this list is strictly focusing on them as defenders, not overall players, so keep that in mind throughout the video. Before we start though, make sure to subscribe to the channel, as all support is very much appreciated. Now, with that being said, let's begin. Starting at the bottom and working our way up to the top at number 30, we have Tristan Thompson of the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cavs are an incredibly young and inexperienced team, and their candidates for this video were not very good. Tristan is a solid rebounder of the basketball, but overall defensively, he's decent at best. At number 29, we have John Collins of the Atlanta Hawks. The Hawks are in a similar situation to the Cavs, as they are filled with a ton of young talent, and not many of them excel on the defensive end quite yet. Collins is a capable shot blocker and pretty underrated when it comes to protecting the basket, but still near the bottom of a list featuring some of the best defenders in the league. At number 28, we have Bradley Beal of the Washington Wizards. Beal is a star player in the league because of his offensive production, and while he's definitely no slouch on defense, he basically got put on this list by default because of how poor the rest of the Wizards roster is this season. At number 27, we have Kelly Oubre of the Phoenix Suns. Oubre played some of his best basketball of his career last season after getting sent to the Suns, especially on the defensive end. He's definitely a nice piece to have on the wing for a young team like Phoenix, but ultimately he's still near the bottom of the list. At number 26, we have Wendell Carter Jr. of the Chicago Bulls. Carter was only a rookie last season, but his defensive potential was on full display. He's a solid shot blocker and makes it tough for opponents to finish at the rim. He just needs to stay healthy and continue to grow, because I can definitely see him rising up this list down the line. At number 25, we have Aaron Gordon of the Orlando Magic. Gordon is a versatile defender that is switchable and can hold his own against a few different positions, but ultimately, he's only an above-average defender no matter who he's matched up against. At number 24, we have Michael Kidd-Gilchrist of the Charlotte Hornets. Kidd-Gilchrist's career has been pretty disappointing through 7 seasons, but defensively he's actually been pretty good. He's typically been tasked with guarding opposing teams' best players and has done well when he has, but he's still not quite the difference maker the Hornets were hoping he would be when they took him with the 2nd overall pick. At number 23, we have De'Aaron Fox of the Sacramento Kings. Fox is one of the fastest players in the whole league, which definitely helps him stay in front of his man on defense. He's a pretty good perimeter defender against other point guards, but he needs to continue to get stronger over the years in order to improve. At number 22, we have Jarrett Allen of the Brooklyn Nets. Allen is a promising young rim protector that is most notably known for having blocked some of the biggest names in the league at the rim. As an overall defender, he does get bullied by stronger matchups, so he definitely needs to gain some weight, but he's still a pretty good rim protector nonetheless. At number 21, we have Mitchell Robinson of the New York Knicks. Robinson is in the same boat as Jarrett Allen to a degree, in that he's a promising young rim protector that struggles against bigger, stronger players. He gets the slight edge over Allen because he's a much better shot blocker, but he's still a tier below the players above him who all have more experience and are much more accomplished. At number 20, we have Paul Millsap of the Denver Nuggets. Millsap helped the Nuggets solidify themselves on the defensive end of the floor by bringing some much-needed interior defense and toughness. He's somewhat over the hill as a player, but he still gives the team very good minutes and handles himself well against tough matchups. At number 19, we have Andre Iguodala of the Memphis Grizzlies. He too may be a bit over the hill as a player, but in the biggest moments, he can still give elite players fits with his long arms and peskiness. At number 18, we have Andre Drummond of the Detroit Pistons. Drummond's arguably the best rebounder in the league, is a pretty good shot blocker, and even gets a ridiculous amount of steals for a center. What holds him back, though, is just how much he struggles one-on-one defending against other players at the position. His effort has been questioned at times, and he tends to struggle against good big men, so that kind of balance sees him come in around the middle of the list. At number 17, we have Kristaps Porzingis of the Dallas Mavericks. Kristaps averaged a nice 2.5 blocks per game the last season he was healthy, and his incredible length makes things super difficult for players to score on. He hasn't seen the court in over a year though, so he has a lot to prove because he has potential to be dominant on that end of the floor. We just need to see how well he's recovered from his injuries. At number 16, we have Jusuf Nurkic of the Portland Trail Blazers. Nurkic is a rock in the middle for Portland that plays super tough and is favored by several metrics. He makes players shoot well below their typical percentages when he guards them, and forces a few turnovers per game as well. At number 15, we have Pascal Siakam of the Toronto Raptors. Siakam broke out in a big way last season, both on offense and on defense. He's super agile and versatile, doing well both staying in front and getting in the right positions on his rotations. He's the man in Toronto now, so the expectation is for him to become a dominant two-way player. At number 14, we have Dejounte Murray of the San Antonio Spurs. Murray only played 2 seasons so far, but in his second season he had already been named to an all-defense team because of how good he was as an on-ball defender. He missed all of last season because of an injury, but now that he's returning, he should continue to develop into an elite defender. At number 13, we have Andre Roberson of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Speaking of players we haven't seen on the court in a while, Roberson has been out for a good 1.5 years now. The last time he was healthy, he was an absolutely top-tier perimeter defender, so I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt on this list, but ultimately, he is a bit of a mystery heading into this season. At number 12, we have PJ Tucker of the Houston Rockets. Tucker is one of the first players that should come to mind when you discuss players that go all out all the time, make the hustle plays, do all of the little things teams need players to do on defense, and take on any challenge with confidence. He's such a massive part of the Rockets team because he holds it down on defense. At number 11, we have Jimmy Butler of the Miami Heat. Butler's a multiple-time All-Defense nominee who has developed a reputation for clamping up and making some really big plays on that end. Last year, he seemed to coast a bit through most of the season, not making the All-Defense team or the All-Star game, but now that he's in Miami as the go-to guy, I expect him to get back to prior form. Starting off the top 10, we have Victor Oladipo of the Indiana Pacers. Since his arrival in Indiana, not only has his offensive production improved, but he was also named first team All-Defense. He's a big-time two-way player, and his defense specifically is top tier amongst perimeter players. At number 9, we have Marcus Smart of the Boston Celtics. Another member of first team All-Defense, Smart has developed a somewhat negative reputation for his flopping, but I assure you, he's one of the best defenders the league has to offer because of that peskiness. At number 8, we have Jrue Holiday of the New Orleans Pelicans. Holiday's incredible defense was most notably on full display in the playoffs 2 years ago, when he absolutely shut down Damian Lillard and played a massive role in the Pelicans sweeping the Blazers that year. He's still just as good of a defender now, but unfortunately, because of all the stuff that went down with the Pelicans last year, he didn't get to show it on the big stage. At number 7, we have Anthony Davis of the Los Angeles Lakers. Davis has led the league in blocks 3 times and is consistently ranked near the top of the league in defended field goal percentage. He still has yet to anchor a top-notch team defense though, and because of it, he just barely misses out on the top 5 for me. At number 6, we have Robert Covington of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Covington is legitimately one of the most underrated players in the entire NBA, as his defensive impact is up there with the very best in the league. When he was on the court for the Wolves last season, the team performed like a top 5-esque defense, and when he was off the floor, the team performed like a bottom 10 defense. He's the king of deflections, rotates extremely well, and forces a ton of turnovers, doing a little bit of everything a team could possibly want. At number 5, we have Rudy Gobert of the Utah Jazz. Gobert is a 2-time defending Defensive Player of the Year, so him being only ranked at 5th might seem a bit low. However, I simply cannot ignore how much he struggled on defense in each of the last 2 postseasons. In the regular season, his impact on the defensive end is absolutely top-notch, but in the playoffs, he has become a bit of a liability, and because of that, he ranks behind a few other players that have proven their defensive impact translates to the playoffs. At number 4, we have Giannis Antetokounmpo of the Milwaukee Bucks. The Greek Freak is an especially large freak on defense, as his combination of length, speed, agility, and overall defensive instincts are like that which we've never seen before. He's had his name in the Defensive Player of the Year race a few times already, and I can definitely imagine him winning one down the line. At number 3, we have Joel Embiid of the Philadelphia 76ers. Embiid's defensive impact has been blatantly obvious since he stepped foot on the court as a rookie and has only gotten better and better since. It was especially on display in this year's playoffs against the champion Raptors, where he had the best plus-minus in the series by a wide margin and the 3rd best plus-minus in all of the playoffs, largely because of his defense. At number 2 on this list, we have Draymond Green of the Golden State Warriors. Draymond is the glue guy that made everything work for the Warriors dynasty over the years, has won a Defensive Player of the Year award, and is honestly one of the most versatile defenders in NBA history. He's historically great on that end of the floor, but so is this next guy at number 1, so Draymond finishes as a very close second. And finally, at number 1 on this list, we have Kawhi Leonard of the Los Angeles Clippers. Leonard has been the very best perimeter defender in the NBA for a good 5 years now. Lately, for health reasons, he may not have gone 100% in the regular season, but in the playoffs this year, he showed that he still has it in him to be elite on that end, and sealed it with a Finals MVP. And with that being said, that's all I have for you today. Make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment your thoughts down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.